Okay, we are live. Let's get this shared here real quick. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so let's close that. We got it shared. We're good. Boom. Okay, got over on the right screen. All that good old stuff. All right. So we are going to do some leather today, as it says, some leather work, with some of our scrap material we have down here. We're going to see if we can put together a sheath here with some of this small-ish scrap material. Pretty sure we can if I do it correctly. So this is, for one thing, let's just talk about our leather here. This is cowhide, between 7 and 9 ounce. So we're talking 2 to 2.4 millimeter, which we're looking at 3/32 of an inch, slightly bigger than an eighth of an inch, which I like using for my sheaths, my holsters, and all that kind of stuff. So one thing that I might end up doing for an event coming up is holsters, but I'm not sure. We'll have to check and see if that's going to be kosher with everybody. So, but let's see here. Let's change out our cutting tool here. And we'll do some tooling on this too, some stamping and stuff like that. But for now, let's get this laid out in approximately how I want it to be. Now, this is going to be an ambidextrous sheath. So we're going to, it needs to be able to fit left or right hander. All I'm doing right now is I'm just getting the general shape of the knife. That a little bit, bright light's good. A little bit drowns out everything, but that's okay. You guys can see that. And then we're going to come in here. We're going to just kind of mark out the outside welt. You'll know what the welt is here in a little bit. Okay. So when we get ready to do the welt, that's a whole lot easier to explain what the welt actually is. Okay, so we're going to just take it off right there. It's not a very big sheath. It's just enough. Okay. Boom. So let's take it. I have these cool. I picked up some new leather tools, and I'm kind of dying to try them out. So let's just see how well they work. These are nice, heavy-duty scissors, and I can make scissors like this, blacksmith-wise. I bought the kit mainly, this whole kit, mainly to get the tools so I can start making them in my shop. But for this is for the price. I mean, these are pretty good so far. I'm pretty pleased. Finding a good pair of scissors that are heavy duty enough to cut leather. I mean, I could use the pad here, but then you end up ruining the pad more often than not. Okay, we're just going to cut out this side here. Now, I'll be doing an event here in June for school days for the Florida School Education Center. We're going to have 4 days starting June 2nd. 4 days leading up to the 5th, where we have a demonstration, one demonstration every night. Well, those demonstrations are going to be pre-recorded, the ones during the week. And then we will have the person that is demonstrating come on and do a live interview and explain what they're doing during their recording. So I'll be recording all of those 4 people doing their stuff. They won't be talking during their demo. They'll just be demoing. They'll be talking to us during the interview. And let's see here. There has to be a clear way to not. Trying to figure out how to get one more of these out of here, because you got to cut your welt out of a full piece. And it's not looking like you're going to be able to get. You might be able to get. Oh, it's so minuscule. If I could get. So that's close. This is half of what doing leather is about, is figuring out how to use have the least amount of waste. So that you can use. Yeah, see, it's just not going to allow. Oh, will it? Will it? Oh, look at that. Look at that. That's super, super. That's awesome. So this is why you cut your stuff out, one of them out, and use it as a pattern, because you can flip it around and play around with it until, oh, we're so dang close. Well, that one will be the welt. We'll do the welt one on that one. We went a little bit over right there. We want to keep this one, and we're going to do the welt on this one. So the welt is the spacer material between the 2 layers of your sheath. So this in here would be the welt, right? Okay, so this is the welt. This is also where one of the things that we put holes in to sew it in. All right, and it's this kind of loosens up, allows your sheath to loosen up a little bit, right? But it can also help hold it in. It helps keep the leather and the sinew or artificial sinew, whatever you're using, from getting cut. It's kind of that barrier between your sewing, your thread. Okay. So we are gonna, actually, I think that'll probably be carried up for right now. Boom. We need to cut this piece out. This is gonna be one of the other side pieces. I might cut it this a little bit small here on the top side. I don't really care about this piece too much up here. I mean, it's just there to help hold the knife in the sheath. That is it. Now this one's going to be slightly larger since we used the pattern to trace it out. And like I said, this will be ambidextrous. For those that don't know what that means, it means it can be worn by a left or right-hander. Which means that it will be a horizontal carry. It won't be a vertical carry, it'll be a horizontal carry. It'll work. Get that cleaned up a little better. Here. Make sure everything fits. Not sure what I was thinking about cutting that right there, but I'll have to trim it all off now. So, no big deal. Probably come in here right like this. Yeah, I'll trim it just like that. Need all that out there. Now here's the catch-22 when you're making a sheath for something, right? A lot of times the buyer won't buy it unless there's a sheath, but then wants to complain about how expensive everything is. I don't know. It's a conundrum for me. Let me tell you what. Let me tell you what. Okay, so this piece, this is the welt piece that we're going to cut. Now this is where a lot of waste comes in. I mean, you're just cutting this strip out here. I mean, so I try and save everything and try and use it on other projects. Try. It is sometimes impossible because of, the project that I'm doing and the weight of the leather that I'm using for my sheaths. Because I mean, you want to make them durable and they got to be able to stand up and weather time and all that good stuff. Now I also got a lot of new hole punching things. I've been just using a gun to do it. Set these, right? So I ended up getting, these aren't really, these don't punch a finished hole, but they are pretty cool for laying holes, for laying your holes out. Let me tell you what. So that is going to be pretty awesome. I like that. So we're going to try these out today. I also have a whole bunch of new tooling punches and all that good old stuff. It's going to be outstanding. Now, one thing that I've always liked but never. I need to figure out when and where I'm supposed to use this. You would think that it would be like, oh, I'm going to lay out where the holes go, and maybe that is what it is, right? But then we have another one. Another one down here that is like super close, and there's no way. So I don't know. Somebody that knows more about leather than I do, get with me on this, because these are intriguing things. I always thought that this was for laying out placement, but they don't line up with those punches. So I don't know. All right. I don't know. Something to worry about for another day, I guess. We're just cutting on our welt here. When you have scissors like this, be very careful. These are extremely, it's like these types of scissors, they're like having miniature kitchen knives strapped together, and you're cutting freaking some very durable material. I've also seen these types of scissors used to process game fowl. Just make real short work of whatever is there. So just be wary when you're messing with them. We don't need to have anybody lose fingers and shit like that, because they will. I mean, they will absolutely just cut your fingers off. All right, trim that down a little bit. And there is our welt. So there's our welt, our two pieces. Wham. Now let's gather up a piece here. I'm going to use, should be more than enough. Cutting out these. Well, that's not giving enough belt loop. Okay. So let's see here. We need enough to roll over so that a belt will go through it without much hassle. Might do. We got to cut a middle out of that. That's stupid. Let's see if I have any more down here. I got a box of cutoffs and drops, and I have a couple boxes like that. But you know, there's an old holster I can use. That's an old big piece that would be good. You know, this piece off the scimitar butcher knife build, pretty good actually. Let's see here. We're going to come down a ways. That way I can make sure. Just go down a little farther just to be safe. I'm loving these scissors. These are nice. Oh yeah, that'll be perfect. We'll get it sized out. It's a little long, but that's okay. It will be good to go. It'll hook right into there, somewhere around in there, like that, and it'll be an ambi sheath. All right. So we're not going to worry about that guy right now. Not yet. We need to lay out one of these first. I wonder if these even, oh, no, they won't. Never mind. What am I talking about? What am I talking about? I'm going to just come off of here. I'm going to drop about 3/16 off my edge. And it'll be sitting almost center of the welt. Maybe it's slightly to the left or right. Boom. Well, probably gonna stop right around there. Okay. So we have it traced out. You really can't see that very well, can you? That's better than not. All right. So we're gonna play around with these little nice little punches here. Now, I can only imagine that this is what this is for. This engineer's plastic. I mean, that lines up pretty good. So we'll try the big before. The 6 holder. I usually do all this just by eye, but we'll see what kind of stuff we get out of this by using all this new stuff. Is it better? Does it make a better product? All that type of bullshit. All right, we're coming on some hard bends here, so that's what these other ones are for. Where'd they go? There's 4. That lines up. I like that. That lines up pretty nice with that curve right there. Kind of. All right. We got a 2 here. We'll really go around this corner here. I mean, I don't know how. I think my way is faster because we still have to punch these. We still have to punch these holes with the hole puncher. So, I mean, my way is definitely faster. Oh, that doesn't line up at all. But that's okay. You know, I'm not too worried about it. I do like these. Pretty nice. Yeah, pretty nice, guys. Truly, like I said though, it's not quicker. Definitely not quicker. Because I may have. Whoa, what the heck happened to. That's weird. Huh. Hopefully you guys aren't seeing that. Let me look here. Man, oh man, oh man. Let's see here. Well, it's just for some reason this screen wanted to go all weird. That's weird. That's weird. The screen just went completely weird. That's okay though. It's only there for me to see any comments. Yeah, Colin. So this is Germantown Forge, guys. Is Colin Riley, Justin Riley's nephew, expiring blacksmith, bladesmith, kind of everything. All right. So as long as you guys aren't seeing what I'm seeing on my screen, I don't care. That's fine. So it probably connection came loose or something, and it's just kind of wobbling there. So all right, boom. We have this guy right here. It's not quicker. It really isn't. And it puts the hole placement a little close. I mean, you're looking at when we're looking at popping down with our lowest setting, right? Which is what we normally do. You're looking at a hole placement. I mean, that is super close. I mean, and that's without. I mean, you're not even having a. It's really close. Really, really close together. I think there's a place for these, and maybe I'm using them wrong. Maybe I'm not using them right. Who the hell knows? Or maybe these are set to be used mainly with a sewing machine. So you pre-punch that hole so the sewing machine needle has an easier time going through. I don't know. We're going to use them as is, and it's just going to be really close, really tight. A lot of stitching in this in this little sheet. Man, holy cow! I don't think I've ever put holes that close together. Wow. Don't get me wrong, I do like it. It's just not quicker. And the whole place. Now, I could go with the single one and put my holes wherever I want. You know, because it does come with this with that single barb on there. Um, but you know, might as well. I mean, and that would be good because that'd be the same thing I do anyways with the pan. I could just kind of tap them down and put them where I want them and do stuff like that. So, but it's still well worth it because I didn't have any of that stuff. And got like a 195 piece leather kit, right? For like $60 off of Amazon. I mean, you go and try and get this stuff from Hobby Lobby, right? I mean, I bought this and like 4 tooling punches for like $60, right? I just got a 195 piece set. And I got a new tool right here that we're going to be showcasing as soon as we get to sewing. So Amazon, man, I know I like shopping local as well, but I can't. There's no local. There's no small business. Hobby Lobby's not a small business. They're a very good business. They take very good care of their people. At least this one does. But I'm sorry, in this economy, I'm not gonna go buy the most expensive freaking thing from a big business, even if it is a Christian-based organization. Because I gotta freaking pay bills, you know. I can't just be going, gee, man, Chris, look at that. Look how many holes are in that. Holy cow. Okay. I'm thinking that these are to be used if you're using a sewing machine. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So you put and it and you can, since these are 4 millimeter, you can put your machine up for that. So I think that's what these are really for. Because this makes no sense to put that big a hole through there. So it makes way more sense to mark them out with and pre punch your holes for your sewing machine, which I don't know how to use. I'd have to talk to my dad. My dad has all of that stuff for his leather stuff. So, or if somebody on here who's watching knows is a leathersmith, let me know. That's the only thing that makes sense to me. I'm not much of a leathersmith. I do it out of necessity for blacksmithing and bladesmithing, making covers and everything. Dude, this screen's bugging the shit out of me. All gray. Whatever. It's just here so I can see comments anyways. So who cares? Okay. Almost done. Man, that is a lot of holes. Holy shit. There's a gargantuan amount of holes. Wow. Okay. Okay. That's how we're gonna play it. It's just dumb. I mean, it's how we're gonna play it. I mean, it's just a lot of hold. There's not a lot of thread backing. It's a good thing we're putting a welt in here. Otherwise, we'd be up shit creek. A little more material in between those holes. Be good to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this in. And didn't want to use super glue. Do I have any in my glue? Probably not. Almost don't even want to use a welt on this. Where's that knife at? It will protect, but it's not even good. We're a little. It's getting really tight, going in and coming out. All right, so we're not going to use a welt. Sometimes I use a welt, sometimes I don't, depending on what's going on. I'm just going to go with how it is. It is what it is. All right, we'll do some tooling here in a little bit, but jeez, holy cow, that is ridiculous. Wow. It stretched it so much. I can't even. I'm not even going to use that as a marker. So we're just going to do our best job at trying to get everything to line up right. Do the same thing we did before. Because these stretched, right? That's all there's to it. We're going to go the same approximate distance, and we will go about stamping this. Not really stamping it either. Marking it. So for this time, I'm not going to switch it. Oh, yeah, I will. Boom. Boom pig. Close enough. Oh, let's see here. go with 4, 2. I believe that is right where it needs to just go. All right. Here comes the tedious mess of punching this all over again. Yeah, never doing this again. Holy shit. This is ridiculous. Wish I could fast forward for you guys. Oh my gosh. It's just bad. I'm really skeptical on not using a welt. Well, if we got to rebuild it, we got to rebuild it. I will see how it looks and feels when we get done. And if we need to rebuild it, then that's what we do. I think it's more dye too. I don't need more dye. So we'll be able to finish this until I get it dyed. But we're going to get everything punched, ready to go, and I mean ready to sew and everything. If we weren't going to dye it, but we'll just dye it. We got to dye it, and we got to do some tooling. But we'll end up doing that one. We'll do all that finish on Patreon. So if you want to see it, you got to be a member of my Patreon, Rusty Hammer Forge on Patreon. It costs you $1 a month, if that's all you want. The $1 a month will get you access to all the extra live broadcasts. And some of those might really pertain to you and your interest because it's all the finish work. So you get some generalized forge work here on YouTube out in the shop, right? So you're going to get, drawing down, drawing out, stuff like that. But for pinning and really hard scroll work or twisting work, some twist decorative smithing and finish leather work, decorative leather working, that's all going to be pay to play. So you still get good information, good technique on general blacksmithing and bladesmithing, but you never get to see any of the finished work unless you pay for it. You can see the finished product, but nothing in between. And that's on Patreon. Search Rusty Hammer Forge. Now, if you choose to go $5 a month, you get a Rusty Hammer Forge vinyl sticker, very, very thick stickers. They're very nice. My youngest daughter calls them thickers or thick boys. You got the thick boys, Dad. She's a sticker person. She makes her own stickers. But yeah, they're really nice. They're 3" by 2. And then if you go for $10 a month, after 12 months of $10 a month, you get a version of that knife right there. You get that knife, a version of it. You can't see the colors right now, but that's okay. Or maybe you can. I can't see the colors for some reason on my damn screen. But you get a version of that knife. After 12 months. I think we did a pretty good job lining that up. Thing seems to be good. That I do like. I just wish there was more space in between them. And I'm pretty sure we can get wider ones. It just seems like it's awful close. Man, that is awful close. Should we do Welt or not? Off a little bit on it. That's okay. Welt or no Welt? No Welt makes it tighter. Oh, I can tell you. No Welt makes it tighter. Okay, so right about there is where we put this, and it's a little long. Yeah, so we're gonna cut that right there. Boom. Just trimming everything off here. I like these scissors. I really like these scissors. Wow. That's outstanding. Boom. Okay, so yeah, so that's where that's gonna go. All right, now we just gotta mark how many damn holes it is. Shit. Just gonna pencil here. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 holes. You gotta be shitting me. 11 holes in what? And an inch and 3/4 worth of material. That's just dumb. Oh well. All right. Let's get out our big big 6-puncher. Where'd she go? Oh yeah, it's this freaking thing. That's what it is. It's this cord. And it has nothing to do with you guys. It's all my screen. All right. So there's 6. Hopefully these all line up. Almost directly off the edge. If I do 2 of these, it's 12. So I'll need to do 1. There's 9. That's not going to work out. That won't work out. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Lots of holes, lots of holes. Ridiculous amount of holes. So a leather sheath for me, for a little guy, you know, for a working everyday carry, costs $50. Not all that much. 50 bones. Big sheaths cost 100. Axe coverings, holsters, depending on the holster. Now, they're really depending on the holster. For one reason, I need to go get the piece. I need to get a dummy version of what you want me to make, right? And it's built. So when I had one of my clients asked to get a holster done, I went out and bought a 1911 45 poly urethane training pistol and used it to build the holster that fit perfectly like a glove. That's how normally I do it. I just mark the hole centers and go from there. Every Christmas. But so don't hit me up for holster stuff because it will cost you, especially if I don't have the gun. If I don't have a 1911, I mean, if I don't have a 9mm, which I don't, I need to go buy one. I have a 9mm gun, but nothing I can wet form with. That's what I'm getting at. But I use the polyurethane to wet form the holster. So I go get a gun that is generally the same as your gun, a training gun, and then I build the holster. So if I don't have, so all I can build right now is 1911 holsters, and they're just belt holsters. There's no clips or anything right now. I'm in the work of working on a shoulder holster, but I'm not even going to do that until I make myself one, and then I'm going to make Daniel Blackburn one because he asked for it, and I said, well, let's wait until I make myself one and go from there. So that is what we're going to do. Okay, so we're almost ready to go at this. Now, it is bothering me that there isn't a welt in there. It really is. The problem I'm running into is with how many holes is in this. There's just not a lot of, there's not a good way to match all this stuff up. That's ridiculous, the amount of holes. Now, what I could do is glue this in place, which I might do. I might just do that. Is glue the welt on, and then punch down through, which I think that's what I'm going to do. So I'll glue it on and punch it through. So we will be having a live Patreon version of this sometime in the near future to finish this guy out. But for right now, we are going to go get ready for our hammer and tongs live stuff that we are going to do tomorrow. I'm going to be putting out information tomorrow on Instagram and through my Messenger fan page, fan site. I'll put it out on rustyhammerforge.com as well, and all the information on what we're doing. And then I'm going to try and keep these to an hour as best as possible. Sometimes it takes longer than an hour to just blacksmith something, but basically we'll get an hour of work on a piece, maybe a little bit longer, depending on what type of piece it is. Sometimes an hour doesn't get you anywhere. So we'll get that all figured out. And stay tuned for school days online this year through the Florida School Education Center. It is 5 days, 4 days. 5 days, 8 demonstrations. 4 of them are pre-recorded throughout, starting at 6 p.m. June 2nd, running to June 4th. I'll have to check the dates and everything just to make sure. But we're going with basically what the school is trying to get at is what do you need to know to survive whatever. So the pioneers needed to know certain things to survive, and that was food, textiles, and tools, right? Leather working kind of comes into textiles a little bit, but sewing, quilting, food preservation, canning, drying, freeze drying, stuff like that, blacksmithing, bladesmithing, stuff like that. We're going to be doing more and more of other things, but just realistically, when you're thinking about doing something that is survival based, right? Herbology and stuff like that. You can think outside the box. Do I need this to survive? If the answer is yes, and it is a skill that allows survival, get in touch with me because we're looking for demonstrators. Can it be demonstrated too? So get in touch with me. We'll talk. You can get me up through my phone number is on my website, rustyhammerforge.com. You can hit me up through the fans of Rusty Hammer Forge on Messenger. You can get all those links through my website. So I'll take it easy out there. You stay safe, be well, and as always, Forge on.